She's at the lightning pace, and she's going to go through and score the try. And that is a fantastic try.
Well, a very good afternoon to you back here at the Military Stadium in Aldershot for part 2 of our rugby bonanza here on this Bank Holiday Monday. Wherever you are around the Forces world, and indeed wherever you are around the world, it's a very good afternoon and welcome along. Now, if you were with us earlier on, you'd have seen a right humdinger of a battle, of course, between the UCAF and Zambia. A game which, UCAF appeared to have in the bag, but Zambia made it pretty difficult for UCAF towards the end, scoring 2 very late tries. The final score, 32 points to 22. That was very tight, but the result of that means, of course, that UCAF have qualified as the winners of Pool A. So they'll be now awaiting, of course, the team that finishes runners-up in Pool B. We'll be getting all that tomorrow here in Aldershot. But before that, we've got some excitement ahead. Obviously, we saw loads of try action in the game earlier on, with UCAF getting the bonus points that they needed with the extra try, of course. But fantastic performance from Zambia. And it's a great pleasure for me to welcome once again John Wilding, who is with me alongside. We've got Kiwi with us as well, who's come back for a second helping of rugby action this afternoon. And Erica, I'll come to you first, because obviously you were watching the action earlier on. And didn't Zambia put up a terrific fight?
My goodness, we predicted at the start of the game it was going to be a really physical encounter. We didn't kind of edge our bets which way the score would go, but we predicted physicality and some pace out wide, and we saw both. I think it was testament to both teams. They definitely played until from the start of the game until that 80th minute.
John, I think that Huddy probably expected it was going to be the toughest game for them in the pool, and so it turned out.
Yeah, look, you have to give credit to Zambia. Like that is how they play, and they never stopped. So you have to give a lot of credit to them, and actually some of their loose play, their breakdown work, and their one-on-one tackling was immense. From Huddy's point of view, all 30 players in the squad have now started and played. No injuries, and you've topped the group with bonus point each way. It sounds like we're taking, but that's job done. And I think the things to work on would be, how that 21-0 lead led to a score line of 32-22. How did we switch off from that? How did we go away from what was working, or allow Zambia into the game? Now, was it because we did, or was it because Zambia came into the game and grew into the game? I think it's a little bit of both, but I think that sometimes, just like the French against Fiji, you show what works and you try too many different things when actually you don't need to do that.
Well, there's the bare bones, you can see from the table in front of you for Pool A. United Kingdom qualifying them with a maximum of 15 points from their 3 games. But the result of that, and of course with Zambia scoring the 4th try, means they get a bonus point, and that means that the Irish Defence Forces have got to get a minimum of 2 points from this game. Now, you would expect them to win, but the incentive for both of these sides, of course, is to actually score points, because although, of course, Tonga have been well beaten in their 2 games, Ireland were beaten quite heavily by UCAF without scoring themselves. And they'll want to get off the mark today, won't they?
Yeah, I think Ireland have everything to play for, and I think them getting on the score sheet from a try and getting some points on the board early doors will be good for their confidence. If they don't, then it could be a much wider and open game than we maybe anticipate.
John, how do you think the Irish will play? How do you think that Neem Dromush made a lot of changes, obviously, to the team which were beaten by UCAF?
Yeah.
Were they just going for safety first here? Let's get qualified, let's get through.
Well, it's quite hard to tell what their style of play is. So the only game they've played in the tournament was against UCAF, and UCAF, to be fair to them, blew them away. And I think if you look specifically against this team, where Tonga have been exposed is out wide. So I expect it to be quite a wide game. Initial harder carries here and there, and then just get the ball wide to width and challenge Tonga out wide. You don't want to be messing with some of the size and power of the Tonga players up in close too much.
But it's clearly important for Tonga as well to make some sort of mark on this tournament. They've been thrashed in both of them so far, well beaten. But they would love to come, into the latter stages of the competition. Obviously, they'll be going right to the bottom draw part of the championship. with something, something to show for their efforts, because they have made their efforts. They were much improved on their first performance when they took on when they took on Zambia.
They've improved from every game to a level. The unfortunate thing is they've had a mismatch in styles that really exposes them. The Zambians' pace, we've just seen against UCAF, was exactly what Tonga didn't want to face. So, they're a proud nation, and they'll fight hard here.
Well, they are proud, and obviously if you're watching today over there in Tonga, we would love to hear from you. Rory McGrath has said, come on. Well, he's put the Shamrocks up there, so we assume that the Clovers for the Irish.
Name like Rory.
He's cheering for them, and of course they're now all coming out onto the pitch. The Irish wearing their change strip today with the white shirts and with green flashes, obviously, and the black shorts. Let's quickly go through the team show. They're going to be presented very, very shortly to the dignitaries. The Tonga side, well, it's difficult to know really what to make of that Tonga lineup, isn't it? And what they can do here today to really improve what we've seen already, you're going to have to look presumably at their scrum half, Alakoa Hawa Untagu. Try not to say that too often during the course of the game, and also Pakanaga as well. And their backs as well, going to be really important for them.
Well, the captain Vili, number 8, she actually played really well. Her stats would have been through the roof against Zambia. Watch out for her carrying and making meters all the way. She played really well. It's just that what the Tongans need to do is get behind her and recycle the ball. As you rightly say, the scrum half played really well. They just need now 1s and 2s to stick with those players.
Being presented at the moment to the Irish Chief of Staff of Defence Forces, Lieutenant General Rossa Mulcahy, and also Commodore Sarah Oakley, the Chair of Royal Navy Rugby, and Commodore Sarah Oakley, I should say, and Commander Paula Bennett-Smith, who's Director of Women's Rugby for UCAF, are just being the presentations now. Let's move on to the Irish side, and as I say, that Neem Droma actually has named herself on the bench, by the way, for this game, but a really important role, that front row, a complete change in the forwards with Nora Murphy, Ruth Johnson and Kuiva Malloy coming in there in those opening positions. But again, they've got the backs there who can produce the goods, haven't they?
Yeah, I think we've seen incremental improvements through both sides. Obviously, focusing on Ireland more so at this point. They strung some phases together against the Looseheads. But yeah, completely overmatched by UCAF. So I think both teams in this matchup will have slightly different ambitions. I think Tonga, it will be, let's score, let's get on the team sheet, even if it's 1, let's show that we can do that. And for Ireland, it's going to be about those points and capitalising on that.
Please remain standing for the national anthem of Ireland. officials today.
Our match officials then, Nikki O'Donnell is handling things in the middle today with Rebecca Biddleston and Rob Hitch, her assistants, out there in the middle of the field today. So we've got the opportunity then for these two teams to make their mark on this competition. Remember, it's UCAF have already qualified, but we've got quite a vociferous support coming through from the Zambians today. Obviously for Tonga, they would love to see them make a real mark on here. Ireland have got to get 2 points out of this game, so that could either be a losing bonus point or it could be a bonus point for scoring 4 tries. And if they win the game, of course, they will be through to the semi-final. So it is Ireland to get underway. It was them who won the toss. In fact, it was actually Tonga who won the toss. They elected to face Ireland, going then from right to left, as we watch here from the main stand here at the Army Rugby headquarters, their pitch here in Aldershot. So Ireland get us underway then with Shauna Bennett, the scrum half, and straight away the Tongans looking to make a little drive. That's their captain there, Viveli, who I spoke to at the opening ceremony, and she was really keen for the team to make an impact. Good drive forward through from them early doors. Confidence building stuff for the Tongans, getting some possession early on. Nicely done. Ireland though collect it and pick it up on that right hand side with Sinead Cribben. 7 years in the Irish Defence Force, and her coach says she's calm under pressure. But not a bad start for Tonga.
Well, they've shown exactly what works. 2 carries, easily 10 metres made, 5 in each, taking in defenders. You just got to look after the ball, which is Tonga's Achilles heel at the moment, is that once it goes out to a little bit wider than their 10-12, that they tend to lose the ball. They've shown what's worked, but you know, Ireland here have a great attacking platform.
What can I do with it then?
I expect them to go right here.
Bennett there. Scrum half, Nikki O'Donnell has given a free kick, I think, to the Irish, hasn't she?
Yeah. I think you can't go for post.
You can't go for post, surely,
no.
for a free kick?
No, yeah.
No. I think Casey Lee just being corrected there by Nikki O'Donnell. And it's Lee who has it into the 22. The number 8.
I think that can just show how players feel psychologically in the opening minutes of a game. A couple of interesting decisions there from both sides. The little kick through for Ireland that didn't come off.
Great work from Malloy. Tonga having to defend then. Ireland bring it forward onto this left-hand side. Here's the full-back going through. Are they going to get an early try? But the ball's dropped there.
And it's
drops it.
It's a great point by Kiwi there, because this is knockout rugby for Ireland, and knockout rugby is pressure, and pressure, you know, no matter what's happened before, every player is thinking pressure here. So you know, and pressure makes people do strange things. The game they played a week ago today against the Invitational team, that wasn't happening. They were holding onto the ball and they were cutting strides. Here the hands are a little bit tight and they're running a little bit softer lines here, but you know, it's all about pressure.
So Tongan put into the scrum.
It's actually a last scrum Tonga put a bit of a push on, and they were penalised for going early, but they still weren't moving. I think Ireland have got to be more aggressive in the hit here.
Well, they've got the players to do it, Tonga.
Yeah, it's a better scrum from
Ireland. Did well with it. Bringing it forward then. And that's a really good drive forward towards their 22 by Huahu, I should say. If you are watching in Tonga, my apologies in advance for my pronunciation of your players. But that's looks like an injury to one of the Tongan players. They've really suffered with injuries throughout this tournament, haven't they, in both their matches so far?
Yeah, the last game they lost the whole front row within about 5 minutes, again, which is not going to help She looked like she took the ball and in an awkward position there, but just Tonga there, like they don't need to do too much flash. They just got to really focus on the real basics of look after the ball and carry, because when they do, it's hard for Ireland to get in their faces.
Irish prop as well. Caoimhe Malloy just receiving a bit of treatment as well. But Ireland have the scrum.
Yeah, just a bit of an awkward collision. I think their body position's not quite as strong as you'd want them to be technically, but both players playing on, which is what we want to see.
It's an interesting setup the Irish backline have got here if they get the ball.
They're going to go on the blind side. They haven't got on the blind side. It's the drive forward from Lee. Being brought to ground. Good defence from Tonga. Can they hold it? Ball goes wide onto the right-hand side, and they've got the overlap here. And we're going to have the first try for the Irish Defence Forces. It's Chloe Farrell who's gone over, and that's huge cheers for the Irish. It is their first points in this competition, and they lead by 5 points to 0. Chloe Farrell going over for the try.
Yeah, we have a really strong Irish contingent to the right of us here, John, with lots of Irish flags, and it's a small stadium, so support can be felt quite easily, so it's great to see a lot of people here supporting both nations.
Yeah, it all comes from the number 8 pick and go. I don't think we've seen enough of that tactic in the tournament as a whole. I think UCAF are a little bit guilty of getting the ball to the backs before actually exploring the opportunity at 8. But that carry there was hard and aggressive, and it meant that none of the Irish backs had to go into the breakdown, which meant they always had the overlap and good hands. I actually think the Irish fullback's a really good player. If she gets some time and space, we should see her cutting some great lines.
A chance for the extras then for the Irish Defence Forces. It's a confident-looking kick, and it is good.
Yeah, it's a punch kick, isn't it?
It was a punch kick, yeah. And so...
Try for the Irish Defence Force by number 13, Chloe Farrell, and successfully converted by Patricia Coots.
Yeah, Patricia Coots getting the extras.
I think for Tonga there, we've seen early that they're going back to that quite condensed defensive shape. I think if they can just get a little bit of confidence in each other's ability to make those one-on-one hits and spread that defensive line a little bit, we'll see a much better game from them.
100%. And what it does by spreading it, it makes the Irish attackers think about not passing it out wide. If they see space, they'll attack it. But if they can't see the space, they might not.
And for the kick forward, it's collected by the scrum half, Alakoka. Still has it.
Yeah, good decision to keep hold of that ball there.
Yeah. But they're strong enough to ride the first tackle. So the Irish have got to hit them in 2.
Oh, this is a great run. Leslie Whakahototo. I'll just call her Lasila. I'll just call her Lasila. But the Irish have picked it up, and they've got a chance here for another try. Good run forward from Coote again, making her mark already on this game with the boot.
There's no one behind as well.
Plenty of space for Katie Lee here. Hands it over to Caoimhe Malloy. Irish pushing for as much as they can. Remember, a win will be enough for them to qualify for the semi-finals. Even two losing bonus point would be good enough as well. And if they can score 4 tries.
So Irish was again falling into the trap of just playing one-out rugby against Tonga, which is actually what Tonga wants you to do. They want you to run at their big defenders. They need to spread the ball and have a bit more deception. You see, there's no one home again.
It's a kick forward by Coots. Oh, and it's someone on the end of it. It's an Irish person on the end of it. Oh, my goodness me. And it's the fullback who's gone over for the second try. Anna O'Donovan has added that second try, and that was just literally chasing after it, picking up the loose ball. She goes over, and sorry, it was the number 13 actually who went over. Sorry, Chloe Farrell, who has scored her second try of the game. So that's a second try for Farrell and a second try for the Irish. They lead by 12 points to 0.
I think when you've got your back turned to an oncoming defence and trying to collect a ball like that, it's even more reason to not let the ball bounce. Teams will punish you and capitalise on something like that.
100%. Again, you just can't afford to leave the backfield empty. You've got to have someone back there, because if that space is seen, it's an interesting style of kick from the 10 because it was a spiral punt to the post. But like that's just really a simple attack, but done well. And shows the effort. Never give up a chase and see what happens.
Well, a bit of deja vu there. Then the same try scorer, the same conversion scorer to give the Irish Defence Forces a 14-0 lead here in Aldershot. Great start for them. It's just the sort of start they would have wanted without really having to exert themselves too much, John.
Yeah, to a point, but again, if you ask some of the forwards who tried to take one out Rugby against the Tongan defence, they'll tell you a different story. But the lesson is there that let the ball hit the space and don't play one out Rugby.
I think it was the best restart the Tongans have had so far, but this is great work from the Irish.
So Irish number 8 is the talisman for the team. Always gets go forward and is a point of focus for the team to get behind.
Katie Lee is the number 8. It's a penalty to Ireland. Katie Lee, 8 years in service with the Irish Defence Forces. It'll be a proud time for her in this side.
What is good to see here is that Tonga have maybe recognised that they didn't have anyone back home, and they're loosely fielding their fullback in a position to receive a kick. Not necessarily my bread and butter, but I'd argue her positioning is slightly too shallow. So, but the intent is there, and the change has been made. So that's really positive to see. Absolutely.
I think sometimes she's trying to hedge her bets, which you try and hedge your bets in covering too much space, you cover nothing. But as I say, it's someone back here. Again, for Ireland, it's not Sniper got it. I think for Ireland, they've just shown a pattern of play here where off a short line out, again, you hit your hard runner. Look how many Tongan defenders have gone in around the breakdown, and look at the space out wide. If that just come a little bit quicker, there's so much is on. But fullbacks learned a lesson.
Yeah, well taken by the fullback there by
It's a great step.
Umafai. Tonga trying to make their way into their opponent's half.
And I think it's individual skill sets like that we have seen Tonga developing across the...
Nice play from Tonga. Nice work from them, and the player going down is Beatai. But she's got it back, making some good ground here. And Nikki O'Donnell has awarded the penalty to Tonga.
So Ireland have got an issue with their tackling at the moment. It's all arms, it's no shoulders. So if you do that against Tongans when they've got momentum, they will go forward. There's actually some really good play by Tonga.
Yeah, they're doing well. They're now into the 22. This is great play for them. Can they get their first try? They can. And Tonga are going to go over and they're going to score a try. And that is fantastic. Helena Tow has got the try for Tonga. And what a bonus that's going to be for them. And you can see the reaction, you can hear the reaction from everyone who's supporting them here, and also from the supporters of Zambia too. Congratulations to Tonga. They are off the mark. Helena Tow with the try.
Yeah, so good to see, and I think it just comes from the confidence building and that individual skill set, and reducing the strength of the pass, being a bit more sympathetic in how they're playing, and then their big ball carriers making ground, and quick ball. That's what quick ball can get Tonga.
100%. Again, and this is what pressure's going to feel like for Ireland now, because that wasn't in their script, and they've still got to win this game and score some points. But going back to I was a bit harsh on their fullback for the second Irish try. That all came from a catch and break there, and then the Tongan forwards just played off the shoulder rugby at pace. And as Kiwi rightly says, quick ball will kill anyone, and that's a great try.
Well, Vili is going to have a go for the conversion here. If they can add the 2 extra points, that will give them loads of confidence, and they have done. It's 7 points to 14, and Tonga right back in this game.
It's like they've won the World Cup. Brilliant to see.
We saw the same from Spain yesterday when they scored against New Zealand in the closing minutes of their game, you could tell what it meant to be able to put points past a team like that. And I think for Tonga, you can see what it means to them just to get their first try.
But it makes you grow as well into the game. It makes you grow. So hopefully that gives you so much more confidence, Tonga, because you now know you've got an end product.
Well, John, you did say to me before kick-off, I've only seen one-sided games so far, so we've got a bit of a change there already. And look at the extra confidence already in this Tongan side. We saw this actually earlier on, to be honest, with Zambia too, didn't we? Their confidence grew when they got on the score sheet. But what can the Irish do? They got a penalty here.
The Irish have just got to simplify their game. What was working for them to get 2 scores up will still work for them. And again, get up into the Tongan 22 and play what did work before. But it'll feel different for the Irish because now they're not only playing Tonga, but they're playing the crowd, because the crowd definitely wants Tonga to do well in this. And again, that's all pressure.
Yes, all the neutrals here will be shouting for Tonga, just as they were for Zambia when they played the UCAF earlier on. And it doesn't matter what how big the crowd is. That support can make a big difference, can't it, to whoever's playing? This
is a catch to be if you think back to the Fiji game when France were winning, the crowd made a massive difference to bring Fiji back into that game, and it can have the same effect here. That was set up to be a driving maul by Ireland because the number 8 was in the scrum half position, and it was an overthrow. And again, adrenaline and pressure do 2 different things. So they just need a little bit of calm head, some real focus, a couple of strong ball carries and quick ball, and they'll be fine.
Teams can quite often come unstuck in the opening 20 minutes of any game. It doesn't matter how experienced you are, and having that psychological edge and making some simple decisions, effective decisions under pressure can split 2 teams apart early on.
And this is Quiva Malloy. I've been told actually by her father, who's watching, that it's actually Quiva who is wearing number 8, although she was down as wearing number 3. So thanks for the correction there. Changes obviously made to the players' numbers before we were told about it, but it's Quiva Malloy, the number 3, going forward now.
This is exactly what Ireland need to do, just keep hold of the ball.
Collected well, but the referee has brought it back. Nicky O'Donnell has brought it back.
I'd really like to see some line speed from Tonga now. They've got opportunities to set so that their number's on. I just think at the minute they then could be coming up with a bit more tenacity about them, and then putting that pressure on Ireland to actually test their back line. That would be good to see.
100%, that's exactly what they need to do. That's just belief. Conversely for Ireland, I just think you just got to be a little bit more direct, but with support at the moment. They're trying to go round them before going through them, but this is a key area for them, I think. They want to catch this. They've got the height on the Tongans. They've actually got a good lift. If they can set up a maul here, and then the 2 back rowers are in the midfield, you've got an option either to drive over with the maul or punch hole in midfield.
So Ruth Johnson then with the put into this line out for the Irish Defence Forces. They know what they've got to do. Just keep playing their game, and they will qualify for the semi-finals as the runners-up here in Pool A.
That's a good contest from Tonga there. And not something we've necessarily seen from them in this tournament.
By that contest as well, it forces the hooker to throw the ball straight under the new laws. So that was a great win there. And again, it's a brave decision to do on your goal line, is to go in the air. But if you're brave, you can get a result. This is one of the areas, though, Tonga struggle is their exit from a pressure like this. In previous games, their kicking wasn't necessarily accurate.
Yeah, simple.
Because if they look to kick from now, you've made the angle much more of a hindrance for the kicker, so you're not going to gain much distance.
And that's exactly what they're doing.
And they kick it down the middle of the pitch, which is arguably the worst position to kick.
So handing possession back then to the Irish.
Great chase by
Here's Anna O'Donovan. Spreads it wide to Sinead Cribbin. Already 2 tries for her.
So again, all offside. But I just think that's just something that they can work on. If go narrower so the kick can make touch. The worst thing you can do, to which is an all right back line for Ireland, is to kick them free ball without any pressure and give them the edge.
Yeah, I think we've also shown, Tonga have also shown their exit strategy, and that's to get it to Susanna Tupou and hit her up and then try and set the kicker up for success. So yeah, just trying to refine that exit, I think will work for them, because she is breaking gain line every time.
100%, and the kick has got some length on it. It's just where it goes. I think again the number 8 will pick and go here.
Good try from the Irish, and there it is. There's the captain, and she's driving for the line. And is she over? Held up at the moment. Still going. Tonga defending bravely at the moment, but are they going to stop the Irish from going in once more for a 3rd try?
That is great covering defence.
Really excellent from Tonga. Ireland knocking on the door.
The individual effort from the Tongan fullback there to drift across and make a couple of hits, like half hits, is great work rate from her.
This has been their best performance so far by a long, long way.
But you have to criticise Ireland there, because everything was running sideways and they were just trying forever to run around the side, which gave the Tongans a target hit. Fair play, they still hit them. And as you say, the work rate for the Tongans is nothing like we've seen before. So credit to them. From Ireland, you need some people hitting the hard line back inside to hold that defence before you go wide. At the moment, they're just chain passing around the outside. The number 8 for Ireland is giving them go forward, but from after that, there's no other go forward. This is a difficult position to defend from. Midfield scrum, when all
could go either way, couldn't it?
Yeah, exactly. Now at Tongan backs, you've got to work in smaller numbers together. Again, if the other threat is a number 8 picks and goes to less defenders, but I anticipate this to go to the 12.
Bennett then with the put in. Nicky O'Donnell awards to Ireland again.
I think the Irish number 8's got to be smart here as well at who she picks out in that defensive line. Twice now she's run at 2 very capable defenders and hasn't got the result that they wanted. So she just needs to think about, does she stay narrow and try and hit the channel, or does she arc a bit wider and hit one of the outer backs and back herself physically one-on-one?
I think that's the try. I mean, if she just hits a wider arc and pops to the 12 will go in untouched. It's quite hard to do when you're this far out, though. If you're a back row forward, I would love to run in here, especially when you've had success. But that's exactly the play. Conversely, actually just let the 9 pick the ball and the backs take on, because I think the Tongans are quite tight. I personally would like to see the Irish right wing a little bit wider to pull that space even more. But there's so many. This is where Tonga. It's so many options to defend. You've got to commit to something. That's a good scrum from Tonga, though. That's how
they've won the scrum back, and for them, that's almost as good as scoring a points.
Yeah, rule number 1, John: win the scrum first, right?
100%. Well, and again, it's almost like they think they're going to win every scrum, so they don't put the same amount of effort in as you did the very first ones. But credit to Tonga. That's under your posts. That's what you want.
Well, look, we've been playing, 23 minutes now of this game, and in the past matches, Tonga have been like trailing by a cricket score almost by this time. So they'll be really pleased with their efforts so far, but it's Ireland who lead. The Irish Defence Forces have that 14 points to 7 lead as we head into the second half of this first half, the second quarter of the match.
We've also seen it a few times in Tonga's game. Their secondary drive is catching teams off guard, and it's exactly what we saw there. You can't underestimate the power of that secondary drive.
Okay,
Kick forward by Benita. Irish chasing it. Good work from their hooker, Ruth Johnson. Ball goes wide. It's kicked forward. And there's a real chase on here. Possibility of another try for Ireland. But the ball rolls out of play.
So look, Tonga have done really well to defend that passage of play. For me, Ireland are going to the kick too early. They're just showing a lack of patience. They've got good ball without much pressure. Let's go through some phases and manipulate the Tongan defence. The Tonga are playing well. They just need to get out of their 22 and start getting some territory possession, because that will lift them even more, and then it will mount the pressure on the Irish.
But everything to play for in this game. Of course, the winners of this match basically will be runners-up in the group. Certainly if the Irish Defence Forces win, they'll be runners-up in this pool. And they can face, at the moment, either Australia, France or Fiji, the way that Pool B is looking. So it's very, very exciting. That's a really good kick forward as well by the scrum half from Alacoca. Out of play.
You can see Tonga's intent there, again, with the 12 hit up the middle and a much better execution from that kick.
It's great play. I don't know what the referee's seen here, but you have to say that's a really good little exit. And had this error not happened, they would be up the halfway line. And Ireland have got to be concerned about that, because that Tonga have shown no pressure to get out of their 22. So it's offside, is it?
So it was offside, and so the Irish then have a chance here from this line out. There may be a drive for the line to extend their lead.
I think Ireland maybe need to paint a different picture here. They've been in this position a couple of times now and haven't come away with points, which from a coaching perspective and a player perspective, you would want to capitalise on being on this position on the pitch. And again, line out falls short.
Yeah, knock on. You might, you're exactly right, Kiwi. You might actually think now, rather than kick for the corner, you go for scrum, because they're getting some success carrying off the back of a scrum. Both of which should concern the Irish coaches, because they've got the height, they've got the movement to win the ball in the scrum. It's just not lacking accuracy. And
I think it's paying dividends as well that Tonga are competing. We didn't see Zambia compete against UCAF, which I think to their detriment for a lot of the last game. And the new laws just enable you to take that opportunity.
It's a great drive from the Irish.
That's a great pick up by the
captain. And well picked up by their captain as well from Tonga. Dan 805 is watching over in Ireland. He says, can you say anything positive about the Irish team? Well, we can say that they're winning the game at the moment, and obviously they've got the points. But you've got to pay, no matter who you're supporting today, you've got to pay some credit to the Tongans here, who have been absolutely whipped in their last two games. They've really improved, and that's nothing against the way the Irish have been playing, but it's certainly an improvement from Tonga, and it's making it a much more competitive fixture. Into touch goes the ball.
I think the more the ball can get into the Irish 10's hand, the better they'll attack. She's the one who sees the space. And there was a great little step and go and pick some players away. It's just quality of ball. If Ireland get quality of ball, I think they've got the backs to run this in. At the moment, their set piece isn't quite firing.
I also think we'll see Ireland come into their own. I think, like you say, we're just out of that, just over the first half of the first half, and they're figuring each other out. And maybe Ireland haven't expected to see the improvements in Tonga that we've seen, but they'll definitely come into their own if they can just make those few little connections come off.
So much more possession for Tonga in this game, and it's really encouraging them. But that's stolen, and it's an opportunity for Ireland to go in and score their third try, and it is a hat-trick for Chloe Farrell. Her third try. The Irish Defence Forces have taken this game and now go on to lead 19 points to 7.
And as we said earlier, the Irish back line, I think, is full of players who can cut great lines. They just need quality ball.
That's product there of playing a high up defence.
Yeah.
The number 13 positioned herself quite high, which can be high risk, high reward rugby. In that instance, she read the game very well.
Yeah, a beautiful pickup from her. Spotted the gap, and there was no one going to stop her there from crossing over. And the chance then for the extras then.
So Tonga have just got to, it's the same old thing, they've got to look after the ball, and that came from an error from them. Well taken by Ireland. Ireland now, all they've got to do is get hold of this ball and get back in the Tonga half and keep the pressure on. And then the points will come. They're winning field possession, and that's the benefit of territory. Is when Tonga made a mistake, it was in their 22. It's hard to recover.
Well, Gunnakoot's kick doesn't go between the posts, so the score remains at 19 points to 7 in favour of the Irish Defence Forces here in Aldershot in this final pool match in this year's International Defence Rugby competition. If you're just joining us, a very warm welcome to you from me, John Knighton. I've got John and I've got Kiwi with me for their expert analysis of the game so far.
Great take.
Really good take from the Irish then from Nora Murphy. Makes good ground.
That's great energy and attitude there, and that can ignite a team.
There's Laura Biasco.
She's had a couple of good runs, actually. What we want to see from Ireland is taking that ball at gain line. Otherwise, it's quite easily to see that territory is being lost on what was a great take to start that kickoff.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, the kick chase there from the number 8, she's been outstanding and has given them go forward and a point of focus. But you have to love it when a prop comes in and takes a ball like that and makes gain line. You know, it lifts the team and it gives a real point of focus. And from here, like again, if they win ball from here, they've got so many options to attack from.
The put-in then from Shauna Bennett. Takes the ball, and Irish Defence Forces spreading the ball wide onto that right-hand side. Here's their fullback. Here's Anna O'Donovan. Brought to ground, into touch.
We could see that Ireland have a slightly more technical edge over Tonga in the set piece, but that's just giving them like a little bit of go forward there. But the hands through the backs and their attacking shape is definitely coming into its own.
We'd love to hear from you wherever you're watching this around the world today. And if you're over in the South Seas, over in Tonga today, we would particularly like to hear from you. And no doubt you'll have been cheering your team on. And obviously hoping that they can add to the 7 points that they've scored here. They've got their IDRC up and running finally. But up against
good penalty.
Good work from
Tonga here. That was a great
Tongans.
scrum. They're coming into the scrum just through sheer effort.
The work rate has been terrific, hasn't it, from Tonga?
Yeah.
I think interesting positionally to do a tap and go from there. For me, that suggests a little bit of
A bit naivety.
I wonder whether these conditions are suiting the Tongans as well. The hard ground. It's a hot day here in Hampshire on this bank holiday Monday here in the United Kingdom.
Yeah, potentially. I just think they've found what works for them. It's a narrow game with a lot of just running through and taking contact. The problem with that is that you burn so much energy doing that. If you don't work your way up the pitch using a line out or a kicking game, this is hard work. But if it works like this,
Nice work again from Ofa Yate.
great leg drive.
Driving forward again, the Tongan strength really encouraged here by the support. Tonga again, launching another attack. Into the 22 goes Tupou. Tuiana.
There's good defensive organisation from Ireland here on the near side, but potentially
Ireland
an
defending well, but more chances then for the Tongans, getting closer and closer to a second try. Much improved performance from them. Great drive again. What a drive, and what a try! That is another extraordinary cry from Lasila. Has gone over for a second try for Tonga, and the crowd here, the Tongan supporters, have gone absolutely mad.
Sorry, John, I can't hear you there. What a phenomenal
We can't hear ourselves think.
Do you know, credit to Ireland, there was a lot of defensive confidence there coming off the line and trying to make those one-on-one collisions with very physical ball carriers. But we can't ignore the individual effort there. What a phenomenal carry.
Well, it was amazing. And I think it would have taken probably a British Rail high-speed train to actually stop her, because she had the momentum. And I think the whole of the Irish team could have got behind it and wouldn't have stopped her.
Yeah, she picked a great line as well. And again, you know, we were sitting here saying we'd have tapped and gone from the halfway line, and that's the play that did it. You know, they went one out rugby, and it's what's working for them. And
over goes the conversion.
It's a great try, but Ireland have got to actually start putting some shoulders into tackles. And fundamentally, their defensive lineup is okay, but it's all arms tackles, and arguably not getting the line speed. If they do that, they'll stop this team in a way. But if you stand off them, then it's going to be a long day.
Well, huge credit to the Tongans
100%.
here.
And again, that, as I say, that came from something that probably I would never ask my team to coach, was a tap and go from your halfway line. But that they did it, they believe in it, they committed to it, and look what can happen. As I say, pressure is a strange animal here. I think there's a bit of a serious injury, unfortunately, to the last ball carrier from Tonga.
Yeah, she's still down, getting some treatment, and we hope that she's going to be okay. A few comments coming through from Lindsay Kane, watching from Ireland. Well done, girls. Let's go, number 8. Let's go, yeah. It's Malloy, Caoimhe Malloy, who's wearing the number 8 for the Irish Defence Forces. Lemar Potts says happy for them. Claude Manowick says, now that is rugby, nice try. And Lemar Potts says, Ruth Johnson, best tactician on the field. And watch out for Tonga bullies, says Claude as well. But they certainly bullied their way over for that try. And just, I mean, in the stand here, the players obviously come over here for a drinks break, but you can just see the look on their faces. They've been down and out for the whole of this tournament so far. These 2 tries have absolutely ignited them.
Yeah, and I think, you know, we've obviously got a serious injury on the pitch, and hopefully the player isn't too bad, but it's this pause in play now when the momentum was with Tonga. It'll be interesting to see who restarts the game with that momentum. Almost at a bad time for Tonga because they were on the front foot, but it does give both teams chance to hydrate a little bit and also recalibrate before we start again.
Yeah, and it's really important. So Tonga have got no pressure, and that's an exciting and it liberates you in terms of what you can see and what you're able to do. I think the Irish coaches made some really solid points in the talk in here, and a lot of it was actually what we do when we get up to the Tongan 22. If we just hold on to the ball and a little bit more direct, it's working, and it's working well. Don't try and get sucked into the Tongan way of free-flowing rugby, because that's allowing them oxygen into this game. I think they need to have find out what's not going wrong in the line out and work on that, because with the line out, that Ireland can really sustain pressure off territory. And the last Irish try came from pressurising the Tongan attack, made an error, and they attacked from that. So that's the sort of thing. However, you have to take your hat off to the Tongan players and their commitment to their plan to go forward, because it's actually paying dividends here.
It is. Well, just thinking about the moment, Veofo Ulangi, the number 7 for the yeah, it was the number 7 who got injured, and there is an ambulance crew who are over there now to take a look at her. She's she's on her haunches at the moment, and hopefully she's going to be able to get up. But a bit of concern over there for the Tongan number 7, who is just obviously took a knock there. But it was one heck of a try, wasn't it, from Lasila Hoka Toa.
Look at the two groups of players here. The Tongans are just totally relaxed. They're buzzing. They're having a great bit of energy. And the Irish are in ones and twos and talking amongst themselves. I just think this is where the captain needs to get together, because Ireland have got their game to take this game away from Tonga, but they need to completely commit to it. And that's what just needs to happen here. Is Tonga, zero pressure, and they're playing the game they want under no matter what the score is, and they're starting to believe.
Well, Kiwi, I think John's absolutely right. This break is actually going to do the Irish Defence Forces the world of good, isn't it? Because they're just going to be able to just... there's a lot of conversations going on down there at the moment. And, you know, clearly they've just got to reset this a little bit and just work out how we're going to stop the Tongans. Because, you know, the Tongans have got a little bit of momentum here.
Yeah, this is where Ireland have got an opportunity to have some micro chats and fix what isn't necessarily going well for them defensively that has enabled Tonga to score. And that's not to discredit Tonga's attack. That's just to now say, OK, we need points from this game. We've conceded points now from 2 tries. Where have they come from? Where can we fix that moving forward? And it's those little conversations now that will put Ireland back on the front foot as we resume play.
And it's worth reminding, first thing I'd say to them, they're still winning the game. They're still in the lead, and it's there. You know, Tonga still have to do a lot more to take the lead. So, you know, it's the little things that Ireland need to do, and just a little bit of refocus, because I think they've got the tacticians to actually pull the Tongan defence apart for that, but they just need to be all on the same page.
A few more comments coming through for you as well. Agnesa says, go Chloe Farrell. Kira Murphy says, well done, girls. Go on, Nora Murphy, number 1, doing a great job watching from County Clare. And Claude says, that's how forwards play. Go straight through. It certainly is. It's good to see that the ambulance team, obviously we've got a first ambulance team here on duty at all the matches, are walking away from the field. That's actually quite encouraging as far as Vofo is concerned. She's still having some treatment. I suspect that she will not be continuing, but if she can walk from the pitch, that will obviously be heartening for all of us watching.
It's a shoulder. I think it's a shoulder.
Yeah, it looks like a shoulder, and we don't want to see serious injuries. But this, John, this pitch here, I was here in January when a Rugby League Challenge Cup first round tie was postponed because of an icy pitch. I think the pitch was actually softer that day in January with ice than it certainly is at the moment.
Yeah, I'm not a resident of Hampshire, but I believe that Hampshire has a hosepipe ban at the moment, and that's probably why there are different colours, shades of grey, green, and whatever, brown on the pitch. But yeah, it's one of them things. But as you said before, I've been lucky enough to go to some of the islands in Polynesia, and some of the grounds there are very, very similar to this. I've not actually been to Tonga, but you know, it's nothing that Tonga won't be used to playing on.
No.
So, and as they've shown, they're all right.
Although Olangi is very gingerly being helped off the pitch now. And you're quite right, John. It looks like her right shoulder that she's could have dislocated or, you know, going down. But these tackles are tough. And it was a great work from her that helped to create that second try for Tonga here.
I think it was her putting the body on the line by trying to offload. That made her shoulder put herself in a position that was awkward to land, and you know that's unfortunately that's part of rugby, and you know no one wants to see it, but you know these things happen, especially when you're trying that little bit harder to do something to make for your team. You can just land in an awkward position, and you know that's rugby. But yeah, no one likes to see that. I think I've done something similar to my shoulder before like that, and I know the pain that is, but credit to her.
She's in a lot of pain there, and she'll get a very, very warm reception when she gets over to this side of the field, but she is obviously really suffering, you can see.
I think she needs that bottle of gas and air.
I think so.
Oh.
The rest of the Tongan team, they've got big smiles on their faces at the moment. Obviously, they'll be thinking about their teammate, but all credit to them because they've really fought hard. They got 2 tries here. They've got themselves on the score sheet. In fact, both these teams have finally got themselves on the scoreboard in the IDRC for the first time. Obviously, Ireland had the bye through. They didn't have to play their first game because Zambia, unfortunately for them, unable to get here through technical difficulties to get here until they played their second game against Tonga. And Zambia, the Zambian supporters who stay behind, and Zambian players, they're clearly hoping that Tonga can go even better because a Tongan victory here would actually put Zambia into the semi-finals. Well, applause just starting to ring now for Vefo Olangi. We wish her well.
It's tough. It's a tough walk off.
It is.
Now this is 5 minutes we got before half time, and it's tough for Tonga to see one of your teammates clearly in pain and go off. But this is the time you've got to really switch. Both teams have got to switch on. This is where the coaches really need to get into the captains, and the captains need to grab the team and actually focus about what we're going to do, how we're going to finish off this half. Because if either team can score, it's a totally different half-time chat from what you do from here. Whether you score or whether you don't let people in, the opposition in, it's all about focus. It's a mini 5-minute game to half-time, and whoever reacts better from this is going to do well.
Well, let's see. Had the restart, of course. It will be the restart for the Irish Defence Forces, having conceded that second try about 5 minutes ago. They'll go for the restart here, reboot, and hopefully for the team wearing white shirts.
It's a lovely kick.
Well taken, just about, by Fuzi. Siwa.
Yeah, an example there of why we're always coached to stand side on, especially with the sun in our eyes. Like, obviously didn't take a clean take, but the ball went backwards and they still keep possession.
And they get the penalty. Tonga building once again. They know they've got the power, and they're driving forward once more, and they're looking for a try which would bring them back into this game. Trailing by just 5 points at the moment. They've got to 2 converted tries, remember. And here they go with number 12, with Susanna Tupu. Again, driving through. They've suddenly got this spring in their step that we've not seen from the Tongans before in this tournament.
I think Tonga have realised that if they move the ball more than out past one player, there are gaps there that they can attack, and that's at the minute where they're having success with a little offload.
And they're into the 22, and this again is a powerful drive from Venita. And again, they've got an overlap here if they can find it on the right-hand side, but they've gone down the middle, and they're driving again, looking for a third try.
Yeah, Ireland need to get off the line here and put a bit of defensive pressure on, exactly like that.
What a turnaround. There goes the hooker, there goes Katia. Again, they're driving, and they're over. Another try for Tonga, and that's levelled in at 19 all.
So Ireland have got to really, that all come from down here, the captain for Tonga. She took a couple of hard carries to give momentum, but she is a hard carrier to stop. However, you've got to stop her. If you stop that offload out the back, then that whole play doesn't happen. Once you've got momentum, the Irish guys have got to get in there and got to get shoulders on. All the tackles are arms and grabs, and unfortunately for them, the Tongans are too powerful for arm grabs.
Well, it was Ofa Veatoe who got the try, the number 6. Going over. Well, this is a real turn up here. We're now level at 19 points all. And you mentioned about this mini half-time break. It's clearly affected Ireland a lot more than it has
Yeah.
the Tongans.
And you just want to see now, it's 2 minutes to half time.
2 minutes to play to half time.
What are you going to do? Where are we going to kick this? What are we going to do for it? What do we want out of this? And it's that sort of little bit of clarity that everyone buys into that could pay dividends. Converse, I would say you've got to keep the ball away from the Tongan captain. She's making everything happen, so kick it somewhere else and let's flood the ball carrier. They're good enough to do that and get the ball into your 10 and 13's hands, because they're the difference makers.
The scores are level. We have just over a minute to play in this first half. And Tonga again are in the ascendancy here.
Yeah, a really deceiving run from that player there. She's done it a few times now with a nice bit of footwork. But Ireland fronting up here.
That's a great tackle. Great tackle from the number 8 again.
Well, she's really leading the way at the moment.
It's a game of 2 number 8s at the
Eva
moment.
Molloy, but it's Tonga again as they approach the halfway line. Renewed confidence in their abilities here. Katir going forward.
If you're Ireland, you just don't want to give a penalty here.
Yeah.
We've seen them take the quick tap now and capitalise on it with 2 tries, so they just need to play smart rugby to the whistle and reset at half-time.
They just can't get the ball at the moment, though, can they, Kiwi?
No, but their defensive efforts here,
Yeah, that's really good.
is really good. They've readjusted their body positions. They're putting their shoulders in, like John said.
The Irish number 8 work right there. There's 3
It's
tackles.
unbelievable.
3 tackles was phenomenal in that, and it stopped the Tongan momentum. She just needs 1 or 2 more to come with her to do that, and then they can put pressure on the Tongan team.
Gumphrey says, go Ireland, and Barry Dunn says, come on, you girls in green, doing great, keep it up.
Interestingly, Tonga have gone for territory here, and it'll be good to see what they can do with their attacking line-out.
Again, if you look, the Villy, the captain, has gone into midfield, so all they're looking to do is get it off the top and punch up in midfield. And interesting, the person who's marking her is her opposite number, and that should be a clash, like a clash of the Titans if they come together.
Taken short. It's another great drive from the number 3 from Lesilla.
And they're getting the penalty
Another
as well.
penalty. Taken quickly.
No, she didn't take.
I think it's
a yellow card as well.
And a yellow.
Yeah.
So Ireland down to 14. Just when they don't need it, because if it's the last minute of this first half, she'll be missing for most of that first period of the second half.
We so often talk about momentum in games, John, and I think here for the last 10 minutes, even post-injury, we've seen a real shift in Tonga's momentum.
Yes, but I still think the ability to go length of the pitch like potentially you can do here is in Ireland's favour. They just need to not do this in 1s and 2s. They've got to buy into something together.
Moira Kirby, by the way, was the Irish player who has gone into the sin bin for 10 minutes.
So that's a great carry, and that just gives momentum, as Key was saying. That's hard to stop the next play.
But suddenly they're handling the ball confidently. Commentators curse as it spills out of
But it's on here
hand.
for Ireland.
The Irish have a chance then, don't they?
And there's a tackle, high tackle.
That little bit of line speed there to put the pressure on to Tonga to force the error is exactly what Ireland needed in that instance.
And the danger is that you stand off to try and get yourself in a good tackling position, but it's the worst thing you can do. You've got to sell out to the line speed and get into the Tongans' faces, because you can challenge their skill set under pressure, but you can also, it's an easier hit. But I still don't think Ireland are out of this. I think if they can weather the storm to half-time, get in and get some words from their coach and a plan to go forward, I still think that they've got the game to take Tonga. However, if they don't get on the same page like the forwards and backs, I think the Tongans can just go from strength to strength, because the pressure's not on them.
The minimum that the Irish Defence Forces need from this game is 2 points. That is the bare minimum they need, because of Zambia scoring the bonus point try against UCAF. So that's where it stands as far as the table is concerned. The Irish know that they need 2 points. At the moment, they've got 1.
Yeah, you just got to win the game. And you know, this is knockout rugby. Treat it as knockout rugby. Just win the game. It doesn't matter what the score is. Just win the game.
That line out wasn't straight. The Tongans have got it back.
Yeah.
It's just not going the way for Neem Droma's team at the moment. They will be glad of the half-time break, I think, going to the sheds to try and sort things out.
And one of the things they've got to sort out is the line-out, because it's hurting the way they want to play. So, you know, whatever that is, they've got to sort that out. Whether it just simplify the call, shorten the numbers in it, whatever it is, just simplify the call, because they need the line-out to play from, especially with the back line they've got.
But here come Tonga again. Great work from their number 10, from Melimai. Onto the halfway line. Tonga looking for an opening. Helena Tow.
It's a good turnover.
Also, John, not just that, but I think even though Tonga are going back in the scrum, they are still coping with a pick at 8 and getting that ball away. So Ireland, just need to sharpen up on their line out to give themselves a bit more of a front foot advantage in the set piece.
100%. I still think they've got the players out wide to do this.
Here goes the winger for Tonga, Salote Mafi. She kicks the ball into touch, and that will be half-time. Well, the reaction here tells you everything that you need to know from a game which threatened to be so one-sided, and it just so isn't. John, you've got a smile on your face because you've had the one-sided game so far. This is anything but.
That's because Kiwi's here, obviously. But look, it is. You can't deny this is a great game to watch. There's two contrasting styles. There's the Ireland went out to a good lead, and then Tonga have just come back. Not just they come back in style. And you know, there's atmosphere, there's crowd, and there's good rugby. You know, it's interesting to see. This is where the coaches earn their bucks here, and now what you do. And the danger is that Tonga think the job is done, and they just do the same thing again and don't put the same effort in. Ireland just need to sharpen up a few things.
And Kiwi, just very brief thoughts from you maybe as the players head into the sheds.
I think I'm getting very similar vibe to the Australia-France game that we saw last week, in that both sides are playing extremely good rugby, slightly different dimensions. I think the thing that's setting Ireland apart at the minute is kicking in their attack, but actually Tonga are capitalising on what works for them, and that's hard running, offload game.
Well, John and Kiwi, thanks so much for your contributions in this first half. It's level here at half-time, 19 points all. We can't wait for the second half. But if you missed the action in that first game, stand by then for UCAF against the team from Africa, the African side, of course, Zambia, and that was pretty exciting too. Action coming up right now from that game.
She's lightning pace, and she's going to go through and score the try. And that is a fantastic try.
Sort of day you dream of as a winger. On this near side, Kim Grundy prowling on the left wing, and Dainton takes that in this time. And rumbling on it comes, the driving maul from UCAF. How close can they get with this move? Ever closer this time. It's over the line. It's a try scored this time. The pressure tolls, and a fantastic start by the women in purple.
Yeah.
Well, it's been a great period for Ellie Brightwell since making her debut against England students just a couple of weeks ago. Royal Navy back row. That conversion attempt is good. So 7-0 UCAF lead. Just over 7 minutes played here in Aldershot.
But I think that's interesting from a kind of coaching point of view, is that given the new role of the line out being not straight if you compete or if you don't, not competing is an interesting choice for me.
Can they come away with a second here, UCAF? Edging ever closer to the whitewash. Lucy Nye marshalling her troops from the back of that mole. The ball going over. Has it been scored? It has. Another try for UCAF. That's fantastic. Once again, the forwards have been busy so far. And India King making it count. That's wonderful from the hooker. Beautiful attacking position here for Nye Williams and the UCAF side. Bang in the centre of the pitch. A free kick being called. Dainton taking it quickly and trying to find the space herself, which she does. Gets over the line. A try for Dainton and UCAF. And more pressure there. Absolutely brilliant stuff from the purple shirts.
Yeah, I think that's just where experience tells, right? You know, Zambia didn't need to give away the free kick, but, you know, Beth, razor-sharp instincts there. She's gone. She's not going to be stopped from that range.
And just feigning the pass, but taking it into contact. Out it comes again. Very, very nice work. Lucy Nye there in defence as well.
Yeah, we're seeing good defensive...
Oh, beautiful break. That's fantastic from the number 8, Chama. What can she do? Bouncing off the defence, running around the outside. Does she have the pace to get there? She cuts back. And not quite, but the ball does go out through the hands. There's space now for the Zambians on this right-hand side. And a try for Zambia as it comes through. Another one scored in this tournament for them, the first of today. Very nice rugby from them indeed. Taken by Beth Dainton this time. She and Silcox have been the preferred jumpers today. Oh, and moving blind is Lucy Nye, and that's lovely stuff. Kim Grundy, can she make it? She does indeed. Wonderful try from the RAF winger. And it is a response by UCAF to that score moments ago from Zambia.
I think Zambia have also been very good at reading the attacking play. Even though UCAF are presenting some different pictures in that back line, they don't appear flustered in defence. They appear confident.
Well, a healthy sign. UCAF constantly looking for those offloads and to keep ball in hand. Sarah Batley ever closer to the try line is scored by Sarah Batley. Fresh back onto the pitch after her sin binning, gets over the line and contributes for her side. Well, they're going through the phases, Zambia, keeping ball in hand. Although UCAF have them being pushed back, and Heidi Silcox, fantastic defensive set. But just a little ill-disciplined, and that's fantastic from Zambia. They move forward, Lewena gets the try, their second today in Aldershot. Brilliant stuff from the fly half.
You can see the disappointment of the UCAF girls under the sticks, but full credit to Zambia there. She went lightning quick with that penalty, and sometimes that's all it takes.
Mullen now. Silcox.
Good straight.
Out to Sinclair. So closer, UCAF once more. It's Nye. Out the hands, Aspinall. And Jazz Abel on the left wing. A try scored. She continues her great tournament. And to wrap her arms around. Oh, and that's beautifully through as well. It's the tight head prop, Wilima Susie. Look at that, Daisy Aspinall after her. What support does she have here for Zambia? There are other players up in support. UCAF defending with all their might here, trying to jackal that and get that possession back. I tell you what, scary times for those in purple.
I think that breakaway just shows how draining this game has been for both sides.
Space out wide. It's the fullback this time, Margaret Chilembo. Another try for Zambia. And boy, they've deserved it in these last few minutes.
They got, and the Zambians have got numbers out here on the left.
Well, enterprising again from the Zambians. They're looking to shape up here and find some numbers. Look at the electric pace from the number 10, Lushoma Lewena. That's a beautiful try. It gets the crowd going wild, many of whom in support for the Zambians. That is sensational.
I think that shows what UCAF are about. Equally, we're seeing elements of where Zambia have come unstuck in this game, scrummage-wise, play out in the last few minutes as well.
Full time in this match. Thrilling stuff, especially in the second half. 32 points to 22, an impressive victory for UCAF, but equally impressive was the way that Zambia came back into this. Both sides earning bonus points for tries as all the players come back onto the pitch, shaking hands, played in such a good spirit as we've seen through this competition. And firstly, Freddie, my word, a chance to catch our breath, but yet again, this tournament certainly doesn't disappoint us.
Well, welcome back to a very, very excited military stadium here in Aldershot after what was a spectacular first half between the Irish Defence Forces and Tonga. 19-all is the score at half-time. Well, it's going to be such an interesting second half here. Have the Tongans used up all their energy? Have they got loads more in the tank? What can the Irish do to basically stop the momentum of Tonga in that first half? We're joined here by two people who hopefully can give me a couple of answers to those questions, to Kiwi and to John as well. Kiwi, I'll come to you first. You've been having a chat with, I think, with Huddy at half-time, the UCAF head coach. No doubt she's been pretty impressed by the performance of Tonga, by the comeback that they've shown.
Yeah, I think if you'd asked a lot of people at the beginning of this game, having seen previous scorelines, they maybe hadn't anticipated the position that Tonga would be in now. But just a really good display of confidence building over the last two games, I think, for Tonga. And I think probably this is an even scoreline and shows a first half of almost two halves. We saw the momentum with Ireland in the first 20 and then it flicked over to Tonga. So it'll be interesting to see who comes out with that psychological edge in the second half.
And John, you know, we've been sort of chatting at half-time and just wondering how much more is left in the Tongan tank. If there is more in the Tongan tank, it could make it very, very interesting.
Yeah, it's amazing if you're getting the ball and you're going forward and you're getting go-forward results, how much your energy levels don't matter to you, and how much belief comes to you. You know, I think that the Tongans have to keep with the same intensity. Certainly from Australia, the two things they need to improve is one-on-one tackling, get some shoulders in and get some aggressive in there, and their set piece just needs to be a little bit more stable. Because from that, they've actually shown they can play and they can accumulate points well. It also allows you to build pressure on Tonga. From Tonga, don't change, just keep going. Follow your number 8, she makes the gaps and just keep going.
That's Crewe Malloy, the captain, who led the team out there, as we just saw, for this second half. And the Tongans stepping out onto the pitch now. They've got a bit of a swagger about them, haven't they? I just wonder, you know, whether they... and it's well deserved. They've not had that spring in the step, obviously, since the first game. Loads of messages coming through. Lots of support for Ireland today. Barry Dunn says, come on, you girls in green. Keep it going. Johnny Quinn, Blinky 420, and also Pauline Sibold all say, go Ireland. Lots of support for Ireland. I wonder whether support for Tonga. There's loads of support for them here in the crowd here today, particularly amongst the supporters of Zambia and also the neutrals here. Because remember, if Tonga were to win this game, it will be Zambia who will then go through to the semi-finals. But we've got 40 minutes, 40 exciting minutes of action to look forward to here in this second half. Let's just see how it's going to unfold.
I think we've got to remember that Tonga have come off the back of two very big defeats. They've spent large proportions of those games defending. So actually, in terms of energy sapping rugby, it's different to be involved in attacking for half of a half. So energy could be good.
Well, they've got the first advantage, I suppose you could call it, from the scrum. Nicky O'Donnell, who's officiating this afternoon with Rebecca Piddleston and Rob Hitch, the assistants. Beck's on this side of the field and Rob on the far side, looking into the sun for the whole of the second half.
It's an ideal situation with Tonga here. Again, the captain picks and goes and gives you go forward.
And it's a great run from her. Great run from Vivili. And the chance for Tonga here inside the 22. They're driving forward. They've got the momentum, early momentum in this second half. Getting closer and closer to that line. They know they've got the power and the strength. And Nicky O'Donnell just stopping the play. And she's awarded a penalty to Tonga.
And again, that's the template for Tonga. You know, nothing difficult there. Just go hard, go forward, carry, and then back it up and back it up. Just look after the ball and carry on a direct line. they're not asking Ireland any other questions other than can you get in front of me and stop me? And Ireland have to find an answer to that, because really that was too easy from the scrum there. Be interesting what Tonga do here, because what's worked for them is the tap and go.
And that is exactly, I think, what they're going to do again. Yep, it's the tap and go. And it's the number 8 again. Visipala Vili.
A good position from the Irish
defence have defended well, but it's another.
All right, so it's a high tackle.
It's a high tackle, and Queen of Malloy just being spoken to by the referee. And it will be another penalty to Tonga here. A real opportunity for them to take the lead in this match. And they go for it once more. They know they've got the power. These are crucial moments in this game.
Yeah, good to see the little lift there from the number 8 to change the point of attack, so that it's not just route 1, and it gives Ireland something else to think about.
Fierce defence on the Irish, but they're over. Tonga are over, and it's Lasila Okatoa who's gone over again for a 3rd try for Tonga. They are in front here by 22 points to 19.
Yeah, and when Tonga are direct, it's just hard to stop for the Irish at the moment. When Tonga try and run sideways, the Irish can get in their faces. It's just a little bit of discipline in the breakdown in a tackle there from Ireland, giving them an extra penalty. But they have to find a solution. How you can stop the direct runners from Tonga, and it may well be that they've got to put double tackles in, but they've got to put them in with shoulders. But fair play to Tonga, fair play.
The way that the Tongans are celebrating here, you think they've actually won the tournament, but they are in front here.
It's not the Tongans that are celebrating, it's the Zambians.
Well, the Zambians will be celebrating too. And it's the captain with the kick. And it's good. 26 points to 19. Tonga leading here. And this could be one of the turn-ups of the tournament so far.
The number 8 for Tonga is absolutely their talisman in the carry, in the breakdown, obviously converting tries. She's being pivotal, and I think the matchup that we spoke about between the two number 8s, at the minute the Tongan number 8 has got the edge, but the work rate from the Irish number 8 is also.
But they're the two captains. The two team captains are leading
for a reason
from the front.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. But my goodness me, this is incredible. Roy Lucio says, "Go Tonga," and hopefully, if you are watching in the South Seas, maybe people are beginning to wake up in the morning to find out that their team is leading this match here by 26 points to 19. It's an incredible turnaround, with the Irish Defence Forces leading by 14 points to 0 in this game. But Tonga have woken up. They're like the sleeping giants. They have woken up here. Very sadly, they lost Bafo Ulangi, who had to leave the field. Looked like she might even have broken her arm, or certainly a dislocated shoulder. But since that try that she created, the Tongans have been unstoppable.
Yeah, it was great defensive pressure, particularly from the Irish number 10 there, flying
There's a yellow card again here. Same reason for the Irish.
Well,
and that's just so smart from the Irish number 8 there, the captain. Such a smart play. She worked hard to force the penalty, took it quickly and ran into a Tonga player who made a play for the ball. That evens up the team.
It's 14-14 now, isn't it? Yeah.
It's just, there's a lot to admire about her play and her intensity, and the way she's pulling Ireland into this contest on her own. As I say, the two number 8s are, everything good about the team is coming through the two number 8s.
It's a great attacking position for Ireland now, and obviously they come back to a full complement, so it'll be good to see a competitive line out from Ireland in this position of the pitch.
The scrum half out offside.
It was a scrum half, yeah. It was Alakoka who has had to go to the bin for 10 minutes. But the Irish now back to full strength, and what can they do here? This is their number 3 driving forward. And again, Ireland, the referee has pulled it back, And it'll be a Tongan put in.
Yeah, just pressure again. Is those passes weren't going to ground in the first half, but Ireland have to look where they are and just build on the pressure they put on territory on Tonga and try and pressure the exit. Again, Tonga have exited down the middle of the field. So if they exit again down the middle of the field, what are you going to do with Ireland? I would look to the left-hand side and attack there.
Yeah, they've certainly got players over, but John, you've mentioned pressure throughout this game. The pressure on the Irish team, who everyone expects to win. It's even more now, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly, because this is not what everyone thought would happen. And they're giving a penalty away there. And it's just not happening for them. And when you combine huge pressure with the other team gathering momentum, it's a really awful place to get in a game of rugby. You've got to just really simplify the game, focus on one or two things like a hard carry or a real and direct game of rugby to try and wrest momentum back and actually get some go forward. That's all they've got to do. If they get go forward, I think the Tongans' enthusiasm will work against them. But it's easy to say from here.
It is.
They've got to do it.
Massive credit to the Tongan players here, and I'm sure everyone watching back home will be very, very proud of them at the moment. The way they fought back here, they've won the line out, but the Irish have stolen it. Opportunity then for Ruth Johnson.
This is only going to the number 8 here.
Runs into the brick wall. Here comes the captain.
Great tackle.
Well tackled.
But there's an overlap if they get it.
And here come the Irish then. Have they got the chance here with their number 21 who's come on, Nima Droma. Goes out wide. Good tackling from Tonga again. But
it's a high tackle.
It's a high tackle, and they going through once more. Another of the changes. Linda McNamara is on for the Irish Defence Forces as well, number 22. Some treatment going on to one of the Tongan players off the pitch, or rather on the pitch, but away from the action.
See right there, Ireland worked an overlap, but the way they exploited it was passing and running sideways, and the overlap never actually materialised because the Tongans were able to drift and use the touchline there. What they actually just need to do is a bit more direct, have some hard runners coming back across the angle to straighten up or fix the Tongan defence even more, and they'll have some massive success out wide. But that's an effect of pressure, but also the pressure that Tonga are putting on the ball carriers. So it's not a million miles away for Ireland here, but they just need a little bit more directness in their play.
And composure as well, I think, as well, don't they?
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there was a great defence, line-out defence from their number 7 there to steal ball and go so close.
Well, they have the penalty, and they'll go for the corner.
Also, on the topic of pressure, it's one of those things that you can't emulate in training. You can only do it in games like this where there is a pressurised situation. So,
well, when it's do or die, the tournament is do or die right here for them. You can't, as you rightly say, you can't replicate that anywhere else. Again, another line-out drive is planned here.
Huge anticipation all around the stadium here. What can the Irish do? Trailing here by 7 points, but the number 3 is going through. Brought to ground, desperately close to the line.
It's a great decision from Ireland in the line-out to opt for their what we
and
would.
Are they going for the try? They are. They've made the try. And it is, who guess? Queen Malloy has got the try for the Irish.
Yeah, just opting for that banker ball when the line-out hasn't been successful in anything from like the 2 ball backwards, and utilising the power and the strength that they do have in their pack to give them that momentum.
And it was well built drive, but a great decision by the tight prop to just peel off, and from that peel off and carry is the thing that broke their Tongan defence. So. They have still got that. That's all repeatable from Ireland. So they just need to believe in that, recognise what they've just done, get down to the territory of the Tongan team and repeat that. As I say, Tonga have just got to do what they did before.
And Patricia Coote adds the extras, brings us level again, 26-26. Just to confirm, it was Quiva Malloy who got the try there. My goodness me, we've played 50 minutes. We're absolutely dead level at 26 all. And a crucial fourth try for the Irish Defence Forces that gives them the bonus point. So they now have 2 points from this game at the moment.
Yep.
That would be enough to take the Irish Defence Forces through to the semi-final, but I have a feeling this game is not going to stay at 26 all for too long.
No, absolutely, and again, another good carry from Ireland there. They just need to now just get back into the Tongan half under control.
Idris Rabibi says, go on Ireland, from everyone in Unifil. That's Idris over there. Nicely taken by the fullback. She charges through, she's lost the ball though, and there was a crossover there, so a penalty to the Irish Defence Forces. Bit of naivety maybe from the Tongans then.
Just enthusiasm. I don't think it was naivety. They were just enthusiastic in trying to support the break there. But that's really good play from Ireland. It's good chase, good pressure, and again they just got to repeat what they did down in 22 to get into the 22, and then repeat it again, and away you go.
And now the momentum has swung back in favour of the Irish Defence Forces.
Yeah, and I think with Tonga in a counter-attack like that, if you carry the ball in an open position, you are asking the back row or a savvy player from the opposition to take that from you and spoil it, which is what happened there, and good identification from the Irish defence.
Spoken like a true back rower there, Kiwi.
Well, it's Malloy who...
Unlucky. So it's because Tonga have adapted to the new laws very well. By always putting someone in the air, you have to throw the ball straight. Whereas if you don't compete in the air, you can throw it not so straight because it's uncompeted. You'll get the ball. So by arguably putting someone in the air and having half a chance to get it, they're forcing the Irish hooker again under pressure to hit a straight ball.
But it's Tonga who had the put in then to the scrum here. Important moments for them. Brought forward by Mehe.
That's a great tackle.
What a tackle.
That's
what
a momentum
tackle.
killer there.
And who was it again who did that?
Yeah.
It was Private Malloy, who's been absolutely brilliant for the Irish Defence Forces this afternoon. What a captain she is. Tonga onto the halfway line. This game could go either way, really could. It depends on the end. Look again, the brilliant work from the captain there, from Vivili. Into touch.
In my mind, John, the thing that could set these two teams apart now is if one team can put an ounce of line speed on in the defensive set, they're going to force the pressure. At the minute, both teams are, and rightly so, it's a saturating, it's an exhausting game, but they're very much putting in some soak-up tackles, which is affording the opposition that momentum in both directions.
Exactly, and it's exactly the right thing. I don't think there's any line speed from either side, or as a unified, it's ones and twos. If you get the whole line speed and you take away all the options of the ball carrier, you'll start to see poor decisions from the ball carrier, as well as maybe more physical attack. I think you're exactly right. That's the thing that would win it. I still think though that even on slow ball, Tonga are just coming out one-out rugby, and that has to be those. The number 8's going to get the ball. You have to stop her. And you have to find a way to stop her. And that's just a bit of communication, work rate, a little bit of line speed, but you've got to get a couple of shoulders into her midriff and drive her back. They did it earlier over here. They just need to do it again. And very quickly, when your number 8's not making yards, it'll rip the heart out of the team. So that's the way you do it. That's how you stop Tonga completely.
Well, two members of the Irish team just having some treatment at the moment. Looks like Katie Lee is having a rest there. She's just being treated. And also one of the replacements, Linda McNamara, is also being treated at the moment by the medical team. McNamara, 22 years service, played for Munster Women. She's got the experience. And it won't be long now before Tonga are back to their full strength. I'd imagine the 10 minutes in the bin for their scrum half, Alakoka Ha'Ingatua.
I think this is an opportunity for both leadership groups now to lift the team up and try and make a bit of a statement, whether that's in open play or in the set piece.
Yeah, and it's really vital they do it. You can see that both number 8s are into the team's ears and directing people where they need to be. It's no coincidence that the play teams to go around them, so it's an easy thing to do when you're leading from the front.
It's a real battle out there on the pitch here at Aldershot, and it's the Irish who come away with it, with their captain. Nice feed in there, but good tackling from Tonga, keeping them out. Their scrum half back in play, and that is going to go out of play. It will be a Tongan ball.
That's good defence from Tonga. Yeah, I think Ireland made that a little bit easier. Arguably, that ball should have gone out the back of that from the 8 carry there. But it's good defence. Ireland have only gone forward 5 metres from the last line out. Now pressurise the Tonga line out. Tonga, what can you do from here?
All things that we've been saying about Tonga this afternoon that have not applied in this tournament before. Yeah. Good defence from Tonga.
Absolutely.
Great attack from Tonga.
Good line out from Tonga, which gets a penalty.
That was a good line-up from Tonga, definitely. I think they were a little bit lucky in a player not rolling away on the breakdown previously. Ireland didn't quite come away with that one, but let's see what they can do now in this defensive set.
That's a great tackle there.
That's Caroline Fairs, but she's come on as a replacement for the Tongans, wearing number 23. And away they go again, spurred on by this crowd here. The referee, though, has brought it back. Nicky O'Donnell brought it back for an infringement.
Fusisua, the Tonga number 4 there, she's had a great game carrying. She's just always a willing run out, a willing support, and always beats the first tackler. She's not as the same power built as the number 8 or some of the others there, but she's always in the shoulder and always makes yards. So that's an impressive game from her there.
Tonga back up to full strength, 15.
Well, the Tongan scrum half is back on again. Alakoka, she's back on and will get immediately back into this game with the put in for the scrum. Attacking options for the Tongans here. And the drive again from the number 8, from the skipper, Visipala. Oh, it's not forward, and that'll be brought forward, and it'll be a scrum down, this time with the Irish to put the ball in.
That was actually really good work from the blindside Irish flanker there. You're not always going to make dominant hits off the back of the scrum. In fact, you rarely do. It's about slowing down that ball carrier and awaiting for the rest of your back row to support you. So she did really well there in slowing down the 8's run.
100%, especially as the 8 went the wrong side, as you call it, on the scrum. Yeah. But so you arguably wouldn't have been expecting it to come around that corner. I think there's the Irish back row are starting to show some fight here, and they're starting to get some decisions go their way. They just need to get into the Tongan half here and put the pressure back on them.
But you can see the Tongan confidence is so high that even if the Irish Defence Forces were to score again, I don't think that would be it by any means.
No, again, it's pressure.
It's pressure, isn't it?
It's the pressure of what Ireland want and where they could potentially go, where the result goes their way. What's next in the cup for them? Again, there's zero pressure on Tonga, absolutely zero, and it's great to play with that. You can show a lot more about what you can do when you've got no pressure.
We're approaching 57 minutes of this game. We're approaching the final quarter. It is dead level at 26-26. Who would have thought that before kickoff?
That's a great line-out steal from Tonga as well.
Nice work again from the Tongans, good tackling. But going straight through again is Melly Mayhew, who's had a great second half. Try scorer of the third try, or the fourth try for Tonga. They have a bonus point, of course, as a result of scoring 4 tries. And that's an incredible drive forward from Caroline Fairs. Fairs, inside. Again, Bertoe feeds it out onto this right-hand side to number 12, to Susanna Tupu.
I've been really impressed by the Tongan handling today.
So much better.
A marked improvement from game 1 versus UCAF.
Their handling out of contact is phenomenal.
The sort of game that they've been desperate to try and play. And they are inside the 22. Phases of play working in their favour. Oh, but it's not forward. And the Irish can bring it forward themselves.
That's great play.
Strong tackle there on the captain, on the Malloy. This is a phenomenal game. Ball dropped. Tonga pick it up, and they can drive forward. Spurred on by their supporters here. The atmosphere unbelievable in this game. Wide onto that right-hand side with Pakatanga.
There's been some great decision-making there from Tonga in their passage of play, whether the ball's been scrappy and bouncing, allowing that bounce, but also setting it when in previous games they might have still tried to play that offload game. They're making a bit more technical, savvy decisions at the right places in the game.
And it all comes from winning the collision. You know, it goes without saying, but it's so crucial in rugby. If you win the collision, you fall forward, the game becomes so much easier, your decision-making so much easier. And you know, probably the most impressive thing compared to that they've improved is the amount of support runners and where the support's coming from. That wasn't happening in the first 2 games. There was no one supporting the ball carrier. These are coming from directly behind at depth, and you know the Irish are struggling to get in tight and stop that.
Well, this has been such a surprise, this match, and we just don't know which way it's going to go. It's absolutely up for grabs here. Lovely turn from Salote Mafe. Brought to ground. But Tonga threatening once more. They just seem quite happy, don't they, to let the Irish come onto them and almost bluster their way through.
It will lend itself to Tonga's game plan, I think. If an Irish defender will bite on a Tongan player, then that opens up the gap for them to run in behind and do a little offload.
And away they go, into the 22. Great work from the Tongans. The Irish pick it up, though. They can break now. That's excellent work and a chance for them to go forward. What a tackle. Who would have imagined this game would produce this sort of rugby? It's been terrific. And they have a penalty to Ireland.
This comes back to what you were saying in the first half, with Ireland having that capacity and the capability to capitalise on open play. I think we might see that in the closing moments of this second half, because fatigue is evidently setting in. And I think if there's a breakaway try to be scored, it could be in Ireland's favour.
Yeah, I still think the threat is from Ireland. However, you know, they've got to find a way of stopping the Tonga momentum when they have the ball. But their ferocity around loose play, loose ball on the floor at the moment is Ireland, and that's what's brought them the go forward here. They have to get a line out.
That was great work by Laura Biasito from Port Tadera ladies rugby team, who earned that situation for the Irish. They're now inside opposition territory here. Words being spoken by the front row. Nora Murphy, who's had a great game for Ireland. Here they go again. They've got the drive on, the driving ball.
I think Ireland could have afforded to keep that ball in the line out there in the maul and take a bit more territory and suck in a few more Tongan defenders.
That's just a lack of patience.
They're wide on the left. That's lovely play. Hint of a forward pass, but it was collected, and Ireland pick it up again. This is a great run. What a fantastic run this is from the number 5. Brilliant run from Maeve Gleeson. Onto the 22. And here's their inspirational captain, Quiva Malloy. Ball goes out wide onto the left-hand side. Here's the fullback, O'Donovan. Desperate tackling from Tonga. Ruth Johnson, the hooker.
You just now need to straighten up here, be a bit direct. And you see they get their penalty. The minute they get more direct, they're in danger there of going side to side, trying to go round the Tongan team, and they haven't done it all game. But actually, if you go direct, you start getting more success. Are they going for goal here?
Well,
yeah, got to win the game.
I think it's a wise decision, isn't it?
Absolutely, it's just win the game. Knockout rugby. It doesn't matter what it looks like if you're winning at the end.
Patricia Coote has been pretty accurate with the boot so far. A chance to give the Irish Defence Forces a 3-point lead here, 26 all at the moment.
It's a great run from the Irish second row, though, to create the space that, you know, they've worked. She's worked hard in the set piece here and in defence, but still has the energy to run like that.
And it goes over.
Penalty there for the Irish Defence Force. Says just nudges them into the lead. Let's
So, 29-26 in favour of the Irish Defence Forces here.
Just a calm head here. Just get the ball, Ireland. You know, recycle and then get back into the the Tongan half here. That's all you need to do. The first Tonga, last bit of effort, force an error and see what you can do.
Karen Keeley says savage performance from number 12 in white.
Yeah.
From Orla Keeley.
Absolutely.
Sometimes it's about finding a way to win.
Yeah.
It's not always going to be pretty rugby, much to the fans' disappointment. But actually, it will be the team now that finds a way to win in these last 20 minutes that will obviously come away with that win.
Couple of changes for Tonga.
Some of it is actually find a way not to lose, and it's as simple as that. But you're absolutely right. Now it's just you know what each side are doing. Just, you know, prevent that happening and just get into things like hold on to the ball and get in territory. They're big things in the game now.
Well taken by the Irish number 7, by Laura Biasito. A couple of changes being made by Tonga. They brought on Anna Latu and Leseti Leota, 16 and 17. So a change on the front row for them. But what can they do? That goes straight into touch.
So that's an error.
Yeah.
And there's no need for that. It's almost like Ireland are playing catch-up rugby. They're winning. There's no need to do that. And the patient play there is just straighten up, take the ball into contact, win the collision, and play out again.
Still plenty of time to go here, though, at Aldershot. 64.5 minutes played, according to the clock in front of us. Obviously, that has been stopped every now and again when we've had the breaks.
It's a water break now, is it?
And it is water break time. So, much deserved from both teams.
Probably comes at a good time for the Irish coaching staff. Just you're in the lead, you fought back from and wrested some of the momentum back. How are you going to play the last 20 minutes or 15 minutes or so? For Tonga, nothing changes. You know what works. You know what you got to do. You know, and it's just about forcing your body or the tired bodies to go and do that.
And the break actually worked for Tonga, didn't it?
It did
last time.
Yeah,
it really worked well for them. So let's just see what happens. It's absolutely on a knife edge. This at the moment. The Irish Defence Forces are going through to the semi-finals as the runners-up in Pool A, but it could change. They have a 3-point lead, but Tonga need a try. Both teams have got the bonus points. They both scored 4 tries. So, and at the moment as well, actually, if Tonga were to win, the Irish at the moment would still be getting the 2 bonus points because
they're within 7.
Within 7.
Yeah.
So it's. I'm just sort of trying to work it out. My maths has never been my strong point, to be honest. But
certainly public maths, eh?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I'm with you there.
Yeah. Good line out for Tonga. Oh, that was a tired pass, really, or a tired recovery, but Tonga have got it back. Good work for them, and there's number 12 for them, Susanna Tupu, who I think's had a great game for them.
I think that's a knock on there. I think it's marked how lacking energy Tonga are when they haven't got the ball. When they get the ball, they suddenly come alive. I would say that the battle of number 8 is being edged in the last 5 minutes or so by the Irish number 8 at the moment. If Tonga want to get going again, I think their captain needs to get hands on the ball again and just get some go forward. But credit to Ireland, they've rested back the initiative. They're just now got to get the territory right and force Tonga to go length of the pitch.
Tonga with a put in on 10 metres.
Yeah.
What a scramble it is in there. Nicky O'Donnell has awarded a penalty to Tonga, which they'll take quickly. It's their method of rugby, and a great interception from the fullback. From Ofe Unefe on the 22 now. With the captain. With Vivili. Tonga not out of this by any means. Driving forward again with Anna Luta, who's just come on as a replacement.
But you look at the Tongans, they're sucking in the big ones at the moment. So it's those passes were going to hand in the early second half, and they're now not quite going to hand. They're still in a great position. They've just got to really dig deep here and force an error from Ireland. Their exits haven't been that great. Force an error from Ireland and see what they can do. From Ireland's point of view, there's a lot of space out there. And the defence isn't as sharp as it was earlier second half. So trust yourself. What have you got here?
Nicky O'Donnell just organising that scrum once more. And what a day of rugby we've had. Friday was a fantastic day down at Henley. Brilliant days last week. And the quality that we've had has been fantastic here today.
Good
Both
scrum.
of the matches.
Good scrum.
Well, there's not going to be much left out on that pitch at the end of the game today, is there?
Those ice baths are going to take a battering later on.
They will.
Well,
they'll probably turn to boiling water at this stage.
I think the Irish front row have worked hard against the much bigger Tongan pack, and they've stayed in the fight. And a lot of credit has to go with that because that's not easy.
What a drive from Tonga. They're going to get the penalty. They have got the penalty. Now, what will they do here? Will they go for parity? Or will they go for the corner?
I think that you know what's going to come.
They're going for a tap and go, aren't they? Which is what they've done throughout the game. That's exactly what they're going to do. They're big driving forward fares.
It's a big defensive ask of any team to defend such powerful players. So why change your mind? Why do something different?
Driving through is Helena Tau. So close to the line now. Are the Tongans, are they going to get another try?
They've just got to show some patience here.
It's pure power from them.
Yeah, individual decision making in this part of the game is critical. Keeping hold
Latu
of it.
feeds Fares, and Fares is going to go. She's held up.
Great effort from the Australian defence, the Irish defence there. That takes
Brilliant
a lot
work.
of guts to do what they just did there and get underneath the ball.
It was Louise Dixon there who made that crucial tackle on the line for the Irish Defence Force.
So Tonga just need to stick to what's worked for them, and that's being a little bit more direct. The minute they try and go wide or around, they're bringing Ireland into the game.
I'd argue, though, in that phase of play there, Tonga had an overlap, which definitely wasn't exploited.
It's picked up. Maffei picks it up.
Yeah, Pids has got it.
But I think it was knocked forward, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was.
There's a slight knock on there. Which.
So at the moment, Ireland don't want scrums, and Tonga, when it's the opposition put in, you can have a full 8 shove, whereas the Irish hooker has to try and hook the ball. So
I remember last time with the scrum, it was the Irish put in last time. The Tongans won the penalty just by their sheer power. Atmosphere here is just incredible. Never experienced anything like this at the military stadium here in Aldershot. Look at the drive again from the Tongans. Irish, though, have got it clear. Intelligent play from them. That's a fantastic run. Brilliant run from Chloe Farrell, who's already got a hat-trick of tries. Can she go all the way? She certainly can. She's beaten off a couple of challenges, and this is a brilliant, brilliant individual try from Chloe Farrell. It is her 4th try of the game, and that is pure class.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you've got to credit some of the Irish forwards who stuck in the scrum there, didn't give the penalty away, and good play from that. But hats off, that's a length of the pitch try.
Magnificent.
It can't be underestimated how it can feel out there, both for the team that has got all the momentum and all the crowd behind them, and to react like that to a crowd that, I wouldn't say they're hostile, but it's very clear who they're behind, is great attitude from Chloe there.
100%. And she had a lot to do there. It goes without saying, not only length of the pitch, but that's what the Irish have got, and that's probably where it's just disappointed they've not actually put her in space earlier in the game, because that's an amazing threat there. I go back to the Irish forwards who are under the pump there. They won the ball without giving a penalty away. Bear in mind what the last penalty was, and they found the space. That's where Tonga were just starting to feel the heat in terms of energy. And if you've got a runner like that out wide, then you're always in the game.
Well, Patricia Coates has popped the conversion over, which now means there's 10 points between these two teams, and that is going to be quite a task now for Tonga to overcome here. But what a magnificent recovery from the Irish Defence Forces here. And as Tadyn Campbell says, go on, Chloe. That was brilliant. Brilliant, brilliant try. One of the tries of the tournament, without beyond a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah, certainly one of the individual tries of the tournament. That's just, in rugby, the length of the pitch try like that is just something to behold.
Oh.
I think
and on a day like this, and at this time in the match as well,
5 defenders
such
beaten
energy.
There. It's a hell of a play.
Well, the momentum certainly now with the Irish Defence Forces here. They've clawed it back. They've survived the storm, really, which it really was. And here they go once more. They've got a taste for this now, have the Irish Defence Forces. Their inspirational captain has it, and it goes out to Amy O'Neill. O'Neill still has it. Eventually brought to ground.
It's just getting harder for Tonga to get in the faces and make the tackles they were making earlier. And Ireland are picking holes there.
And here comes...
She's impressive.
Yeah, Coates has been brilliant today for them. And the Irish seem to have found a second win here. Laura Cressito. And you just wonder whether maybe Tonga have run out of energy. Irish have another penalty here.
Yeah,
I'd imagine they'll go for it, go for the 3 points.
Yeah, it's knockout rugby. Just make the scores bigger and bigger. But I think the players for Tonga who've played the whole game, are, especially up front, are now, they're running short of energy, and you got to credit Ireland. They stayed in the fight, and it's starting to come and prove its worth.
Well,
now.
led by their captain, really, led by Cuifa Malloy, who has led from the front from the word go and has been simply magnificent. I think you're looking at a player of the match. You haven't got to look too much further than her, have you?
Not for me. I think she's done everything. And by nominating yourself as the playmaker, you're also drawing out the bigger hits from all the people.
And it goes over.
And you just look at the smile on her face now. So you can feel it.
So Coots has the penalty. Takes the Irish Defence Forces to 39 points.
Yeah, she's smiling there. There's been no easy yards from either side today. It has been 100% physicality from the off. So a deserved smile there. They take a deserved lead in the last 10 minutes of play. Let's see how Tonga restart this.
It's a good kick.
It's a brilliant kick. Irish having to chase this. Chasing it down is Louise Dixon, and she'll put it into touch.
It's a great kick-off. Tonga's line-out recently has been going well. So from here, you know what's going to come.
Obviously not quite such a spring in the step of the Tongans. This game seems to have slipped away from them. They're now 13 points adrift. So even... well, 2 converted tries would be enough, but it's going to be so tight. Irish must feel they've got one foot in the semi-final now. But my goodness, they've had to work for it. And I think we can all say that Tonga have finally arrived in this tournament as well, which is great to see. Still pushing, still trying, still driving for that line.
We've got a penalty here as well.
The drive is through. Mickey O'Donnell brings it back for the penalty.
So last 2.5 minutes, I think we know what's going to come here.
The drive is on, and it's ducted down by the number 17. It was Lesotho Leota who got the try.
This is, if this is a really important kick here, because if this goes over, they're within a score. So with under 2 minutes to play, anything can happen from here. But again, once they're in the 22, Tonga, they just play their game, and it's up. They challenge you. Can you stop us running a direct line? And it's working for them.
Well, who would have thought that Tonga would have scored 5 tries in this match? But they have done. And their captain has the responsibility of trying to put this conversion over. And it's just gone wide. And probably with it, the opportunity. And in fact, that is the final action of this game. But what a magnificent game of rugby we have seen here today between the Tongans and the Irish Defence Forces. They are absolutely cock-a-hoop that they've won this. And I'd imagine a fair bit relieved as well.
Yeah, to see Tonga come into their own and find a game plan that works for them has been amazing to see. They should be really proud of that performance. And Ireland dug in when it really hurt, and it was evident that it was hurting, and Tonga had the momentum. But they came away in the moments where it mattered and managed to pull away in the end with a 39-31 score.
They did. And John, I mean, this game had everything that we wanted, didn't we, from a game of Forces World Cup rugby today.
Well, it's a really good game of rugby to watch. It swings in momentum, scores, teams leading, teams going back again, coming back at it. For people like myself who love a bit of a collision, there's plenty of them. There's tries of every kind, from full-length breakaways by outside backs to tired props running in from 20 metres and bashing over people. There's a fierce competition, and I'll go back to a lot of credit should go to Ireland here, because they withstood pressure that other people haven't had to face in the tournament here. and they came back and won it and took it actually really well in the end, and played some smart rugby. So credit to them, but the emotional winner here is definitely Tonga.
Absolutely, but it means that both Tonga and Zambia now go into the cup competition, plate competition if you like, which will be obviously the second string competition. It means that the Irish Defence Forces will be second in Pool A. A few messages. Emma Hill says, come on Ireland, so proud of my sister number one, Nora Murphy, playing like a beast, watching from Claire, her sister Emma, nieces and nephews all watching today. Great to have you with us. David Brannigan says, well done Ireland. Kieran Coughlin says, well done Ireland. And also a well done to the Tongan team from Rotamalia, I think. Malo Malo Tonga, well done. So for those of you who, wherever you've been watching today, I hope you've enjoyed the two games as much as we have. Just very briefly before we go, just to remind you that we have more rugby action from this stadium tomorrow when Pool B will be decided. And my goodness me, that is open to anyone at the moment of the three teams who could end up first, second and third in the group. I shall ask both of you for your thoughts on that, because such excitement in Pool B. We've been watching a lot of Pool B, haven't we, both of you? And obviously we've seen the best of Australia, we've seen the best of the French, and we've seen the best as well of the Fijians too. So, you know, from your point of view, Kiwi, what's going to happen tomorrow?
I think the exciting thing about tomorrow is we can't predict what's going to happen. I actually think we've seen it in snippets today, what difference the pressure can force a side to display, whether that's positively or negatively. So I think tomorrow the teams that ride out that pressure and can remain clinical under pressure will be the teams that come out on top.
And John, briefly your thoughts as well on the two more really exciting games that we're looking forward to, because both games obviously can impinge on who is going to get those final places.
Yeah, to me, it's knockout rugby in the pool stages. I think Fiji have shown that they've got the ability to attack and break any defence no matter what the game situation is. I actually think Australia have yet to hit their straps and have got the game to play. France has shown them how you can put pressure on Fiji. So there's a really exciting game there, and some of the players like Hopper and the ex-Wallaroo, they've got the people up front who can work the game there. France are the team, they're defending champions for a reason, and you know, as I say, they will probably take care of business themselves. But I think as Kiwi said, whoever reacts to the pressure of the Australia-Fiji game is probably going to come out on top.
Well, John and Kiwi, thank you so much indeed for your company this afternoon in what's been a terrific afternoon of rugby. And before that, of course, you know, Kiwi and Freddie as well for UCAF winning 32 points to 22 to claim the top place in Pool A. We've now got Pool B, as we say, to look forward to tomorrow afternoon. But it's a victory here in the end today by the Irish Defence Forces by 39 points to 31. But a great performance from Tonga, who have finally arrived at this tournament. And for that, we are most grateful. From me, John Knighton, and all the team here, it's a very good afternoon from Aldershot.
She's lightly placed, and she's going to go through and score the try. And that is a fantastic try.
Off go the Australians, and here it goes. Another try for Fiji. The tries keep raining down.
Play hard, play fast, show them what we've got.
And going through on that left-hand side, this is a fantastic one.
Wonderful stuff from UCAF.
The French are over.
What a game we're seeing. We're hoping to bring the Fijians play on rugby.
She's going all the way. And the try goes over.
I thought we could win it. That'd be unbelievable. Well, it's relentless right now, and that's brilliant stuff from the home side.